guys, welcome back to Don't Forget the Art. I am so excited that you are here as always, and I am really excited about this project. I am celebrating May. May is this really cool time of the year. We're like a little bit past spring, but not quite to summer. And it's just an amazingly cool time of year. Well, not here in Florida. It's actually getting really hot here. Not a surprise, but it's, you know, the heat wave is coming on a little bit earlier this year than it seems to have been last year. So I have been enjoying some cooler time outside first thing in the morning, and there's been some really cool planet alignments that are out, and my garden, the flowers are out in full bloom. I got some really nice ones, new ones for Mother's Day, so I am really excited about those. And I've been out for walks in the morning, sadly not with my pooch, take her out for her little stop and sniff. She comes inside, but she's been letting me go out again without her and getting some walks in, and there are birds everywhere. So I'm going to take some inspiration from nature with what's going on this time of year and kind of do something fun with that. I'm turning to watercolors again. You are welcome to use any medium that you would like. So for my watercolors, I will need, and if you're choosing to use watercolors, you will need some watercolor paper. I would highly recommend that you get something. I would use 140 pounds minimum. I have what Canson here. This is 11 by 15. You don't have to go anything that big. And you can even use some of the off-brands from Michael's or Hobby Lobby or whatever you can find. Try it out, okay? Get some of the cheaper stuff. Check it out on a BOGO or something like that, and play around with it. I really like watercolors. It's a medium that you need to play around with to get a little bit more familiar with. But the more you play around with it, the more you know, and eventually you can, you know, lose the frustration, because I know that watercolors can be frustrating. Anywho, along with the watercolor paper, I will need water and a cup to hold that water in. I am using some brushes. These are seriously, like my go-tos. These are about the only ones I use when I'm doing watercolors. There's a few others, but this is it. My number 14 round and my number 6 round. I should probably try playing around with some others because I have others, but I really like those two. Pencil, eraser, pencil sharpener, and then I'm going to finish out my, and watercolors. I got this for myself for my birthday, and I'm really enjoying it so far. You can see I'm trying to figure out which colors I use and which ones I don't. These are Master's Touch right now, but I'm thinking about upgrading to a different brand in the future. But so I'll keep you posted on that. But I'm really liking this so far. It's a wonderful way for me to do this and hopefully start taking my art out with me. And then I'm going to finish off my piece with some ink. So this is going to be like an ink and wash type thing. Add some little details with the ink. And I'm going to use my little birdie friends as my inspiration for my piece. So I will talk you more through on what I am going to do with this, and I will see, oh, and some washi tape. I forgot washi tape, and I will see you on the other side. So the first thing that I did with this was kind of get some playing around ideas. I actually started in a different sketchbook to play around with some different, you know, cute bird ideas, and then went to this paper. My apologies, I actually sketched it out while I was kind of doing some schooling with my kiddos at the kitchen table. Actually, I think one of my kiddos was just drawing along with me, and I didn't want to interrupt that moment. So I took the time to do that then. And mamas, or, you know, anyone who's interested in doing art, that is one of the best pieces of advice that I can give you is, first of all, take some art supplies with you wherever you go. Have them ready for you. And then take the moments where you can and do the art then. It doesn't have to be this elaborate setup time. I take, you know, my packet of colored pencils, inks, pencils, eraser, that type of stuff with me in my purse or a bag or something, pretty much wherever I go. And that way, if the mood strikes, I've got a few extra minutes to spare or something like that, I can go ahead and, you know, fill that space with some art, or if I find something that's inspiring or something like that, it's a really great practice to get into, not just carrying it around, but actually using it. And mamas, I know some of you have expressed to me that you would just really love to maybe get some more into art. Take those moments, you know, at the kitchen table or at your school table or at night when you're relaxing with the TV or something like that. Those are the times that I find it best for me to just kind of sit and doodle and play around. So my apologies that I had this sketched out beforehand, but that was what worked best for me. Now I'm using the board that I have that's kind of lined with the PVC. So the water doesn't absorb. It's a really wonderful board. If you're interested more about it, I can talk more about it. I know I've done it extensively on some of these videos in the past, but I'm using that along with some washi tape. Now the washi tape that I have isn't the greatest, but it doesn't really tear the paper. So if you don't have this, you can use painter's tape, but washi tape really works very well too. It sticks enough to hold the paper down without usually damaging the paper, ripping it as I am pulling it up. So washi tape it is. And then I am just going to start, you know, kind of playing around with some watercolors. The toughest choices I had to make was which colors to make these. I knew I wanted to make it colorful. I did find a few other pieces out there to kind of help me, to give me a little bit of guidance and inspiration besides the birds that were out or are out in our neighborhood, in my yard. There's a funny one out right now. So a lot of the babies around here have gotten pretty big. And so they're flying, but they're still dependent on mama to feed them. And one of them in particular, a mockingjay, has been in one of my trees in the yard, and he's bigger than mom. He's absolutely huge, but he sits there squawking the whole time, and you can see mom going and gathering bugs and berries and other things for him to eat and feeding him. To which you kind of want to look at him and say, can't you feed yourself? But she's doing a really good job, and she obviously knows what she's doing. So it's really fun now when I'm out in the morning between mockingbirds and cardinals, and I've even seen a few woodpeckers lately, blue jays, cardinals, lots of birds out there. It's really fun to see them all out and about, and taking, some of them taking care of their babies. There was some grackles or crows or I don't know, something out there that was taking care of a baby this morning. That was causing quite a stir. But anywho, I figured it would be fun. And a lot of them I see while I'm on my walk chirping away on the power lines and telephone lines and whatnot that are in the neighborhood. So I thought that this would be a fun little way to do some birds. Now, I wanted them all to have their own little personality, so I tweaked them a little bit before I started this. At first, they kind of all looked the same, but I changed the way that they were looking, their little expressions. One of them's a little tired, maybe not the early bird of the bunch. And I also did an odd number, because one of the things that I have learned with art is that odd numbers, 1, 3s, 5s, you know, that's can make it a little bit more interesting. So I went ahead and did that. I also tried to make the colors a little varied so that they would kind of help move the eye around as you know, you're looking at it. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one. I finished it off after I got the colors down. You'll notice that I kind of scattered as I put the birds in. I didn't do them right next to each other. I varied it around, let one dry before I got too close to it again. That way there wouldn't be too much of the bleeding and blending and all that stuff. I did want the birds to be kind of separated, the colors to be separated from each other. Once all of that dried, then I pulled out my ink pens and gave them a little bit of an outline. I don't know next time if I did this, if I would instead kind of have their bellies up a little bit so that maybe you could see their little feet grabbing a hold of the power line. But I really do like this. I like the blue one on the right, who's kind of got his head tilt, like, what are you doing? Because sometimes when I'm out on my walk, that's kind of what the birds are looking at me like. As well as just, you know, kind of how they each have their own little personality. I hope you enjoy this one. I hope you have some fun making something, creating something yourself too. And here is my final project, guys. At least I think it's finished. I did go ahead and put in a blue background as was recommended by my son. I had thought about doing maybe like an early morning sunrise type look with like a pink moving up to like a coral up to a yellow. I might try that again sometime because the skies, the sunrises out here have just been absolutely beautiful and amazing. So yeah, I really like the way that this one turned out. I am going to sign it because I think it is pretty much dry now. I'm gonna sign it. I'm gonna sign it right down here. I actually finally got a new S size black Indian ink Pitt pen from Faber-Castell. My other ones were have seen better days. They are well worn out. So that is one kind of cool, sad and cool thing about art supplies. You are going to wear them out, and that's okay. You know, be smart about your purchases, and you can have some awesome pieces to create some awesome masterpieces for you. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. I am going to go ahead and take that weekend off, but I will see you again soon. Happy arting, everyone.